Bara, you owe me a sparring session. Get your gloves and warm up.
What? Again? I don't suppose you'd accept a doctor's oath from Val.
Come on. I already promised I won't throw elbows this time. Where's your fighting spirit?
Must have had it knocked clean out of me. In fact, why don't I go look for it now?
Ain't gonna climb the corporate ladder with that attitude. You could just learn to duck, you know. My system still ain't gotten the memo we're clear of the relay. I'm itching to keep running. We're damn lucky we got out in time, Commander. Just wish Westport hadn't been the victim here. Those folk didn't deserve to go out like that, Protectorate or not. I know what's done is done, but I'll have to sit with this. Sounds like your old pal DeVries was in deep with the Order. Now, I don't know a whole lot about them, but I don't reckon fanatical is part of their employee code of conduct. And as you've seen, that kind of loyalty can pose a real problem to everyone else. But we'll track her down before it comes to a head. Don't you worry. Fine by me.
Fizzo's Purple Berry Punch. You want a punch? We've got your punch right here. Auntie's Choice Rehydrated Water for that spacer on the go.
Commander, the nav key coordinates supplied by the presiding bishop of the Order have been verified. Landing in Golden Ridge is now possible. Additionally, we are also able to land in Free Market Station due to the Astrogator's progress with the updates necessitated by its rebuild. Golden Ridge is located on Dorado. It is home to the Alexandra Monastery and Matriarch's Mercy, as well as previously being a center for mining Zeranium. The Protectorate abandoned it soon after the invasion, leaving Auntie's Choice and the Order of the Ascendant to fight for control of the area and its resources. Free Market Station is an independent marketplace, the only one in the system. It is called such as it was built out of a crashed Auntie's Choice freighter by that name. Agent Ibarra prioritized your recovery above pursuing Agent DeVries. This involved disassembling and rebuilding the Astrogator to allow the Incognito to travel to your location. As the rebuilding process progresses, old nav keys may be unlocked. Unfortunately, most of them are likely not recoverable.
the second choice has got a new shipment of swill. Gave it a try. Needs some aging, but not too bad.
What? I was just with Barney. He said we're not getting any new shipments for months.
Remember, nothing's a crime if you never get caught.
I was under the impression that Free Market Station was open to all. Why am I being accosted?
Free Market Station is open to all, except spies. It's awful suspicious how you've been gallivanting about, asking everyone questions.
I am not a spy. The information I'm collecting here shall be of historical significance. Surely you can appreciate it. I was under the impression that Free Market Station was open to all. Why am I being accosted?
Free Market Station is open to all, except spies. It's awful suspicious how you've been gallivanting about, asking everyone questions.
I am not a spy. The information I'm collecting here shall be of historical significance someday. Surely you can appreciate that.
Right. And I'm sure that information wouldn't help at all in clearing us out of the station years from now. I'll be watching you. Hope that wayward science type didn't disturb you much, friend. We of the station normally do our best to dissuade partisans from making nuisances of themselves. Suppose I can't stop you. Just don't let her convince you to do anything that might put you at odds with our security forces. All that aside, enjoy your time on the station. Don't get into any trouble.
Greetings. Are you perhaps interested in advancing the knowledge of Arcadia's history through scientific exploration? What am I saying? Of course you are. Please, do tell me anything you might know about the crash of the ACS Free Market. Could Auntie's choice have succeeded where order experiments failed? Oh, you're being duplicitous. No Sprat corpses were found in the initial crash site. Do pardon my forwardness. I saw that you were a new arrival, but I held out some hope that you might be able to enlighten me where the station populace has not. As an archivist, it's my duty to collect and record hitherto unrecorded knowledge wherever it can be found. But my earnest questions have been met with suspicion. You're correct. Unfortunately, I'll take that question to mean that I can't interview you for more information. Fiddlesticks. If some independent preservationist would be willing to assist me in discovering the truth, I certainly would appreciate it. That's great. I can offer you a stipend from my exploratory budget for anything you might manage to discover. Converse with the locals, peer into unturned corners, and see what your able hand might unearth. I look forward to furthering the cause of history with you. I'd ask about in the saloon and the bazaar. Both are places where gossip flies about like so many tarot rays. Sub Rosa likely has some information about the crash, but I'm not sure where. You also might be able to find some intact portion of the ship amidst all of the station's wreckage. Take a look around. I'm sure you'll be able to get farther on your own.
You know when you eat Sprat Crit.
Buy from me and live to tell your fellows about my store. Mind telling me if I still got both my eyebrows? Never mind, they were just slowing me down anyway. Browse all you like. Everything I've got is fine-tuned to perfection. That's privileged information, friend. If you want it, you're going to have to kill me. Just jesting. Although if you did want to kill me, I've got many finely priced perforators tuned to do just that. Perhaps you'd be inclined to take a look at my wares? Feel free to go on a murderous rampage with what you buy. It's good publicity. Hey, you smell gunpowder? Browse all you like. Everything I've got is fine-tuned to perfection. I'm glad you asked. Weapon is an all-encompassing term. A rock can be a weapon, or a stick, or a particularly agitated sprat if you have thick enough gloves. But what I sell here, I wouldn't dare lump them in with mere weapons. These are finely tuned instruments of personnel elimination. You have my guarantee. My equipment for annihilating one's foes will never fail on you. Full disclosure, my guarantee is not guaranteed.
even listening to this? Let me sell you stuff? Listen, I know I shouldn't warn you about this, but anything I sell you runs the risk of exploding. I trust you'll appreciate my forthrightness and be all the more willing to buy from me. No. Ships decidedly ain't in my purview. You sure I can't interest you in some bric-a-brac instead of this conversation? You'd need to purchase much more from my stock for me to consider such a course of action. Well, none taken. I never intended to be. But when life breaks your jaw and shoots out your knees, may as well learn to get good at crawling, right? Be happy to show you.
Sales grandstanding not found. Preparing sniveling servitude protocol complete. Greetings, most valued and attractive customer. What may this unit rehydrate for you? Negative. This unit and stall are registered to Gerald T. Wenrich. Mr. Wenrich last visited 222 days ago. When last seen, Mr. Wenrich mentioned he was, quote, going to teach those, redacted, sub rosa, redacted, a lesson. Nobody extorts Gerald T. Wenrich. All wares were at some point cooked fresh. Shop here to acquire fine food for cheap.
You need coveralls, we got coveralls. I might not know what all my wares are, but I'm sure we can find something you'll like. If you're in need of sprucing up the old wardrobe, I can provide. Used to be part of Auntie's Choice. Nothing special, just a pilot for light cargo vessels. Had a lot of time to think, with just the void for company. Eventually decided I was sick of being overworked and underpaid, and made off with my cargo. Turned out to be generic clothes, work gear, and such. More of a market for it out here than I would have guessed. I've bolstered my wares since, you should give them a look. I got rags, fineries, and everything in between.
If you've a tooth pain, you know who to visit. If you're here about a toothache, you've come to the right place. If you're here bleeding from a dozen bullet wounds, I suppose I can help with that too. If you've wounds that need stitching or teeth that need scrutiny, I'm your doctor. Yes? Is this a problem? I'm the only doctor on Free Market Station. I think that excuses whatever quirks I may or may not have. My prior faction demanded I strictly adhere to my vocation and forego the world of dentistry, under penalty of death after a certain number of infractions. Suffice it to say, I'm pleased Free Market Station allows me to be myself. Medicaments and more. Got a sale on teeth. If you've wounds that needs medicaments.
Protect your loved ones, protect... Look, everyone else here? Nothing you buy from them will matter if you get killed. So armor up. Tell me what you need. Booming now. Used to be a few other armor shops on the station. As it happened, their owners mysteriously vanished. I picked up their inventories real cheap, since they were just taking up station storage. It sure was a convenient windfall for yours truly. Real convenient. Exactly. I wish some other sorts around here who like to cast aspersions were as understanding as you. Can do. and you lost it. Lost it. I'm selling it. Only thing dependable, tell me what you need. Can do.
Tired of firearms? Firearms that explode in your face? Come to not a weapons store.
I'm beginning to reach the tail end of my patience. You will tell me the location of the broker.
Lad, you ain't got much of a concept of a deal, do you? You ain't got nothing to offer, and a threat is offering less than nothing.
You realize any other arbiter would have crushed you where you stand for obstruction of justice long before now? That I am flowing with magnanimity?
Stranger, seen my fix? Hope you're about to offer to rid me of this damn fool.
You cannot dissuade an arbiter from their sovereign-given duty, no matter how much of an irritant you may attempt to be. I came to meet with the information broker for, protectorate business, protectorate reasons. However, I find myself foiled at near every turn. None within the Protectorate would defy an arbiter and expect to live. Regrettably, I cannot make the locals see reason without rendering myself unable to learn what I seek.
Even polite entreaties don't see most getting an invite to the broker, and you've been anything but. See, you may have thought you said have an audience, but what you actually said was let him assassinate.
Do I look like a sentinel to you? No, don't answer that. My point is that if I wanted to kill everyone here, we would not be having this obnoxious conversation.
No matter what this fella says, he's not going to convince me to trust him. He's a walking security risk.
An arbiter need prove themselves to no one but the sovereign. But if I must debase myself to further my aim, so be it.
Interesting thought. Occurs to me there might just be something that needs looking into. Within the Golden Ridge locale on Dorado, there's a refugee camp. It's unassuming, quiet-like. Most of the folks there just want to be left alone. They see to the few needs they have by working with the broker, but we ain't heard from them in a fortnight and change. Serves to reason something untoward may have transpired there. You see your way to looking into that, maybe we'll talk. That's between them and Sub Rosa. You in or you out?
I don't fancy the idea of letting an arbiter loose on our allies without supervision. Might not know you, but anything's better than giving him complete freedom.
I do not take your speaking of me as some kind of feral canid lightly.
Great! Take the lap canid with you. I've had enough of his excitability, and so have my customers.
I don't claim to be pleased with the circumstances surrounding this co-investigation, but perhaps we may surprise one another. I'm Arbiter Tristan Rao. When I was an apprentice, yes, but not since. And certainly never with an outsider. I shall meet you at the camp. Let us hope we both arrive there intact.
Greetings again. Libations or information? What's your poison? If you were running a less than legal group, would you want everyone knowing your agents' identities? I don't think so. Lots of folks in Sub Rosa have friends and family elsewhere. Auntie's Choice and the Protectorate predominantly, but some order. If their identities somehow got out, those friends and family are suddenly going to look like much juicier targets. It's safer for everyone this way. Always. For example, there's some kind of hoity-toity collector type parked upstairs. Supposedly, she's willing to sell some of her collection if you impress her. Laws.
Come now, Prospero, you've been on that stage hundreds of times. This perturbation looks bad on you, and you're not one for looking bad. Terribly sorry you've got me ruminating. A man of my persuasion shouldn't stoop to such self-deprecation, especially in front of prospective customers. You've identified me properly. But information transference is the lifeblood of Free Market Station, and if you want a transfusion, you'll have to grant me a spot of help. I'm in charge of keeping the patrons of the saloon entertained. Normally this does not present an issue, but I learned that an old flame of mine shall attend my next performance. My resolve is uncharacteristically flagging. I find myself fixating on the most minute of issues. I need something to bolster my confidence. She knows my real name. Prospero's just a stage title, as it happens. There's a certain kind of intimacy that I fear shall be difficult to ignore. Liquid courage has never failed me, but I have a discerning palate. The Automech chef in the bazaar sells my preferred brand of alcohol, though it can be headstrong. You see, I can't just drink any old swill from the bar. My refined palate can only stomach one drink. Iceberg aged whiskey. Something of a collector's item, I'm told. Now, if you'll excuse me, an artist must be granted solitude to properly amass his mental forces.
Greetings again. Hope that little day libations or information. What's your poison? Oh, sure. Got it right behind the bottled gold and spiced silver. No, I ain't got any fancy booze for our in-house drunkard. And if he wants to know if I do, he should come and ask me himself. Or better yet, focus on his upcoming set.
As it happens, standing in one place and focusing on not being nervous does not, in fact, help one not be nervous. I've been better. I've been worse. Preparing for either extremity.
Another challenger approaches. Prepare to be sent weeping from my curio collection. None have defeated my collections, and none shall. But I do so delight in a competition. Are you prepared to do battle? No one wanders into Fiona F. Walker. If you are here, we are fated to do battle. But I sense your reluctance. Very well. Defeat my collection and I'll grant you the chance to purchase other items from past collections. My curios are myriad, unique, and powerful. I take you for an adventuring sort, and if that's correct, I would be beside myself if I do not possess anything you want. Cards, my dear, of the toss ball and pitch ball variety. I must see if your collection bests my own. Sporting! Let us do battle. This is a fine collection of cards. For an amateur, you'll need a sight more to compete with me. I cannot open my wares to any unless their collections rival my own. I hope you understand. Feel free to return once you have bolstered your ranks, but know that you shall still not defeat me. Back. If you seek entry to my wares, you must engage me your sports card collection, though you shall not prevail. You're really not. This is a fine collection of cards. You'll have.
When I first joined up with you, I figured Milver Street and Carr knew you'd do a good turn for our folk eventually. Thought if I tagged along, it'd be good for my resume or some such. And it seems all of us were right. That relay ain't a threat anymore. But one thing I couldn't quite figure out all this time is what you were getting out of helping us. Uh-huh. I've heard that one before. Ain't had many dealings with the Earth Directorate myself. You're the first agent I ever met, in fact. But you get things done. I trust you. As for the rest of your organization, can't really say. They hate corporations, I've heard that much. But what about you? You buy into their policy too? No, not all. Look, I'm sorry. I ain't intending to get into any grievances here. Let's just say I'm a little dubious about the whole keeping corporations and corrupt governments in check thing. Ain't seen evidence of it yet. But maybe you're liable to prove me wrong. Anyhow, reckon we should keep moving. How personal are we talking? Like ain't the word I'd use, even before I was itching to tear up my contract and set it aflame. Auntie gave me autonomy, gave me the choice to do more than just struggle to survive. They treated me better than my last employers did, and despite recent events, I believe in their mission. We can give folk here in Arcadia a better life. Wasn't advertising that won me over. It was them taking action when it counted. Take a look at what most systems offer and what Auntie's Choice provides. Do the math. I'm just one of many who welcomed the chance to enlist with open arms. Only because I had to. Believe me, I ain't planning on holding them at arm's length forever. Now, do I got qualms with Auntie? Sure. But I'll tell you what, when she overthrew those Spacer's Choice bastards in Tau Ceti, my home system, that takeover was the best thing that ever happened to us, even if it took time to see it. But I reckon that's a tale for another day. That all you wanted to discuss, or... Fine by me? Couldn't say. I was in it all of 2 days before my graft started festering. Before that, I was an infantry medic. Our platoon was one of the first to touch down in Arcadia. I would have continued serving on the front line in an upgraded capacity, but, well, once the state of my graft became apparent, it was decided that parting ways would be best. Oh. They only officially discharge you if you, say, killed a fellow trooper on purpose, or gave someone a screaming deal on triptease. I was quietly reassigned to the menial troubleshooter contract status, which had me running all sorts of mind-numbing jobs across the island. Thrilling, I know. We're among the most valuable targets on the battlefield. If we go down, our entire platoon's at risk. But boosting our constitution, making us stronger, making the enemy soil themselves at the thought of enraging us, there's a lot to be gained there. Is it? Well, I'll be sure to send in a report to my commanding officer, wherever he is, and demand some recompense. Maybe things are different back on Earth. Out here, all that matters is winning the fight. Right. Yeah, figured you might. I want to say up front that I got nothing against you or your crew. Ain't one to judge the firearm by its plating. And so far, you ain't given me reason to doubt your character. But the Earth Directorate itself, it's got much to answer for. The Earth Directorate swore a promise to every colony out there. That if you plead for help, help will come. Maybe not immediately, but you know, maybe sometime this decade. But that's all a heap of shit. You know how many of us in Tau Ceti tried to send messages? And when that didn't work, how we begged the stars for the Earth Directorate to save us? They never responded. Never showed up. Not when I was a child, certainly not by the time Auntie's Choice came around. You ask me, you're selling folk a lie. I know that. I see you doing all you can to help folk. Look, I ain't holding you to account for the Earth Directorate's ills. No more than anyone would hold me to those of Auntie's choice. We're our own people. No matter how often I'm hit in the face with that fact, with you, with Ethel, it's rather easy to forget at times. But talking through this reminds me. And I appreciate it, Commander. Nor do I. I feel strange. In a good way. Auntie's documentation doesn't describe the side effects of grafting with a Crabble, but so far, not hearing complaints from me. I'd say this officially puts me back in full fighting form. If you ever thought I might slow you down, you can give those fears a kiss goodnight. I appreciate that, Commander. I got a good feeling about this partnership of ours. Just want to reiterate that I'll make good on my end of the deal. I plan on proving my worth to you and to Auntie, no matter what it takes. Well, then I guess I ought to open the eyes of those who don't quite see it that way yet. I appreciate you hearing me out. We should move on. I'd say it's at least moderately concerning that the presiding bishop's agent knew when and where to find us. They can call it predictive all they like. I call it stalking. But an invitation to parlay ain't nothing to scoff at, considering. Anyway, was there something you needed, Commander? What I wouldn't give for a big bowl of Purpleberry Crunch right now. Got something that needs doing, Commander? How personal are we talking? If this new graft fails, you mean? Then I keep pushing forward till I can't anymore. You didn't see me when I first got out of surgery and came to Paradise Island. The fact that you and I met at all is a testament to Doc's skill. But suppose if her treatment doesn't stick, then maybe it's my time to go. You can only cheat death so many times. You know that as well as I do. You can't stay put in an active war zone without someone to watch your back. Without my platoon, I figured I'd do better asking for help in an acquired town. Once Doc healed me up, I found work here, made a living, or something like it. My contract switched hands a number of times, and, well, you see how that turned out. Desperation brought me here. Determination made me stay. Then desperation circled back around and inspired me to escape while I could. I owe Doc more than I could say. She helped me without even asking for payment or a favor up front. She reminds me of the folk I had back home in Tau Ceti. I'd rather not dwell on those moments, if it's all the same to you.
Bought a shooter from Not a Weapons Store, right? How's it treating me?
It ain't. Can't eat the spreads I shoot it. Since they keep disintegrating.
just outlined things, but